The Tigers will try to make it 3 straight at Johnny Unitas Stadium, and the Tigers looking to get to 5-1. Tiger Football Report starts now.
For an athlete, there's nothing scarier than a torn ACL.
Athletes trust us with their care and their careers because we're a recognized leader in sports medicine.
Get back to your active life sooner with MedStar Sports Medicine.
Wise Market's ice cream plant is based in Sunbury, Pennsylvania, and it's locally owned and operated. We've been making our ice cream for nearly 50 years. We create roughly 70 flavors of ice cream right now. We use local ingredients, especially our cream, which is from our milk plant. The cream is what gives our ice cream a rich and creamy texture. Now, together with our customers, we've created a product called Peanut Butter Indulgence, which will be coming out this summer. It's a peanut butter ice cream with sea salt caramel swirl, chocolate-covered pretzel. How could you go wrong with that? Personally, I love our ice cream. If you come to our house at any given time, you'll find at least 5 packets of ice cream in our freezer. Our kids grew up eating Wise quality ice cream, and now we get to treat our grandchildren to it. It's been a pleasure for me to be tasting ice cream for over 40 years for Wise Markets, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Welcome to another edition of the Tiger Football Report. I'm your host, Spiro Morekas, along with the head coach of the Tigers, Rob Ambrose. And Coach, this week the Tigers taking on William and Mary, and for you, going to be kind of a sad occasion because the guy that recruited you out of high school, Jimmy Laycock, he's a legend. He's been at William and Mary for, 37 years now. He announced his retirement before the season, so this is the last time you're going to go head-to-head with him.
This is true. He's going to retire. He's going to play a lot of golf. Going to enjoy the fruits of all his labors. And you said it. He's a Hall of Famer. Like, the day this is over, he should be inducted tomorrow. In the history of William and Mary, at least of William and Mary football, it will, no matter who is the next guy, William and Mary football will be synonymous with Jimmy Laycock.
They come in, they're coming off a victory. They defeated Albany, a game they were down most of the game. They come back to win 25-22, and you look at their numbers, and they've got Funderburk, who's really a good running back, but it looks like they've had some problems getting him open or free. He's only averaging 3 yards a carry so far this season, and they've had problems putting points on the board.
They have up until this game. Then you're talking about, while he's a great tailback, you got some young guys on the offensive side of the ball, especially a quarterback who's in his first year. But if you watch the film and you watch his progression, he's getting better week after week, and it's making a difference. And they found a way to win. They've had an extremely difficult schedule to begin with their 1A opponent and who they played. I think they played Colgate, and Colgate's like top 3 defenses in the country. So that, along with trying to go up against Bud Foster and Virginia Tech, I'm sure your stats are going to be kind of low. But they're starting to hit their stride now, and they're getting a little scary. And
a very dangerous receiver in Devontae Dedman.
Yes, he's dangerous in every aspect of him touching the ball, and the least amount of times we can let him touch the ball, the better off we'll be. How's that for good coaching?
All right, now, you're a country boy. I did a little ciphering.
Okay.
Pull out my little piece of paper here.
I don't know what's going on here.
I'm going to throw some things out at you here.
Okay.
By the way, first time since 1974 that the Tigers have scored over 40 points in 3 straight games, and the first time in school history, 44 or more points in 3 straight games. So how you like that?
Okay. I like
As a team, you're 20th in the nation in third down conversions at 44%. That's an extremely important statistic.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps drives going. 17th in the country in first downs. 11th in the country in kickoff return yardage. 14th in the country in passing offense. 11th in the country in scoring offense. 15th in the country in total offense, and of course the most important, you were 12th in the country in winning percentage. So you've got that. Shane Simpson, 6th in the country in all-purpose yards, 20th in the country in kickoff returns. Tom Flacco, 9th in the country in passing efficiency, 4th in the country in touchdown throws, 9th in the country with passing yards per game. Shane Leatherberry, 18th in the country in receiving yards per game, and 17th in the country in receptions per game. So it's not a one-man show, that's for sure. You've got quite the offense clicking right now.
Well, there's a lot of guys touching the ball, and when you got a lot of guys touching the ball and doing good things with it, it's hard to key on any one player. And Tom's proven himself to be a very, very good quarterback at this level. Shane's proven himself to be an exceptional receiver at this level, and Shane has proven himself to be dangerous with the ball in any aspect of his game. And that's just 3 guys. I got some decent stats from a whole bunch of other guys that are touching the ball too. So for us, the hard part is there's only one football. It's, you can only spread it around so much, but we're playing well. The 11 on the field are playing together, and we're playing more than 11 guys. We're playing a lot more than 11 guys. The fruits of being injured and receiving experience by having to play when you shouldn't have played, it's bearing fruit now. That all these guys have experience and they have confidence. They know our offense, they understand defense, and they're now physically making plays.
One thing I could not find is when the last time a Towson tight end caught 2 touchdown passes in the same game. Chris Clark has 8 catches, and 3 of them are for touchdowns. And this is a guy who hasn't really been 100% healthy, correct?
Still is not. He's still rehabbing. He's still getting better. And it's kind of interesting. He's in there and he's making these plays, but there's 4 and 5 tight ends that we're playing that are all playing exceptionally well. Like I look at some of our people, like they would die for just one of our tight ends. And we got 5 guys that can play just at that spot right now.
As a guy that's been on the offensive side of the football your whole life, and you've had some explosive teams, the teams from 11 through 13 were explosive, but they weren't putting up these kind of numbers.
No, we were much different. That was in the growing of the program, and we were still trying to build guys. So we tried to manufacture wins, like you play a little billy ball, that we would try to keep the ball out of the other team's hands while still scoring points and try to shorten the game. Now, we're not doing that at all. We're just going. We got the pedal to the metal, and you got to keep up.
Are these the most weapons you've ever had?
Oh, goodness. I don't know. I can't say that. There's been too many guys and too many weapons that were too awesome in the history of this program for me to say that. But some of these guys, before they're done, might actually be good enough to be in that category.
And we have to remind folks that Coach Ambrose, in 1999, had a guy that was throwing the ball 50 times a game in Joe Lee. And then the next year, the Tigers had 1,000-yard rushers. So you adapt to whatever you have. This team, you can run, you can throw. This has got to be just thrilling to sit down and try to put together a game plan.
Sure, it is. I mean, the more weapons you have, the easier it gets. But I think I give a lot of credit to the staff, that we really got back to what you just said. In the history of my career, that we've never really had a scheme. We've just taken the skill set of the guys we had and played to their strengths, worked on their weaknesses, and used that to try to win football games. And I'd say probably in the last 2 years, we didn't do that very well. But we really spent a lot of time in the offseason breaking ourselves down and rebuilding ourselves again. And it's a different version, but it's only someone who's been around Towson football as long as you understands how not different this actually is. And yeah, it's a pretty exciting time.
It certainly is. And come on out to the U this Saturday, 4 o'clock, when the Tigers take on William & Mary. Try to get to 5-1, try to get to 3-0 in the CAA as they continue their quest for the CAA championship. So for the head coach of the Tigers, Rob Ambrose, I'm Spiro Morekas. Gordy Combs and I'll be with you on CBS Sports Radio 1300 and TowsonTigers.com starting at 3:45 with the pregame show. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, go Tigers.